Hello everyone, xHedra here bringing you episode 11 of Compact Claustrophobia, a mod pack by your hamster. Oh wow, triple exit. So in the last episode, during the time lapse, I moved my cache of cobblestone here because I knew it would feed this for a long while, and I've extended this to 7 Crucible. So I'm more than good on more than good on Obsidian. It all pipes into here, and look at how fast this is going. And 1 Obsidian, and a second Obsidian. And look at how many I have now, 231. I already have double what I had in the old setup, and also I had time to make another 9x9x9 and 2 more 7x7x7 because I want to have space to craft stuff. So let's get out of here. And I just wanted to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. So this time lapse today, I'm already talking about the time lapse. Yes, I know. This is going to be our new hub. I'm going to, in the time lapse, start moving everything here out of that tiny room so that we have this much more space. And I think that the 9x9x9 is the last time I'm going to switch the hub, just because of how much work it is. Because I'm going to bring every resources there because we're going toward refined storage pretty soon. So today, I want to make our first baby reactor and then see if we can make the big boy. So just want to make sure, what resource do I have cooking everywhere? I'm light on iron, maybe steel. I'm good. Constantine. I'm pretty much good on everything, I want to say. Like, it's for sure I'm not 100% good, but I'm good-ish enough. So let's go. Big reactor. I already put all of these during the time lapse here. And now we are going to teach our calculator how to make it. Calculator right here. But before that, let's make an isotope separator. The isotope separator is required to make the fuel that we're going to use. So unfortunately, the game tells you after. And I don't want to wait after because, well, if I wait after, we're going to have to then wait on the fuel to get separated, and we're not going to be able to start the reactor immediately. What I'd like to do is make a reactor and start it immediately to show you why it's not enough. So that's all good. We should be able to craft the isotope separator, and I already know that the fuel it's going to recommend that we make in the beginning is LEU-235, which you get from Uranium Grit. So if I come here and let's move the induction smelter out of the way, let's put the isotope separator here, and let's put that in here. The question is, can I afford 1 upgrade or 2 maybe? Let's just see how much power this uses. This used 10 RF per tick. If I put 1 upgrade, it's 2 times faster, but now 40 RF per tick. If I put another one, see how the power is going down? This is consuming more power than it's getting. So 1 is the most that we can put until we start having more serious power. So this is breaking down into uranium-238 and tiny clumps of uranium-235. We'll get back to this. Right now, it doesn't really matter. That's not what we're doing. Oh, and by the way, I made a Yeta wrench. The reason I made a Yeta wrench is that when I was putting down these conduit, let's say that I had placed this one but not this one, so they were not connected. When I placed the conduit here, the fluid conduit would not connect because this one was empty and this one had lava, and it didn't want to auto connect and merge the liquid. So you need to use a Yeta wrench and just find the side that's the liquid and hit it to get it to extend. Also, I waited for this episode to add it to my morphing tool. So now my morphing tool has a Yeta wrench and a crescent hammer. I just wanted to show you that if you ever have that problem. Okay, so back in here, Now it's time for the big reactor. So we're going to go to the quest time, and we're going to go look at the reactor. Oh, wrong quest line, right here. So baby's first fission reactor. The amount required is a hint to building a small staple, whatever. Keep coolant and reactor next to each other, completely encased. Try a redstone cooler. So it's telling us to make an empty cooler, but it's saying also a redstone cooler. So we'll make the empty cooler first, but then we'll transform it into a redstone cooler. Then you can it's going to give you a reactor trapdoor or a reactor door, which are used to go into the reactor. Let's say that we had liquid coolant, like fluid coolant that we needed to be able to place or replace. We're not going to need to go in our reactor. I'm not going to grab those. I'm going to grab the fission reactor port. So fission controller, 8 fission reactor casing, 2 transparent fission reactor casing, 1 reactor cell, and 1 empty cooler. So let's go here. And what I'm going to do is, what is this? Radiation core. So this has no craft. So what I'm going to do is that in my calculator, I'm going to use this as my recipe marker because it looks amazing. Like, you can always cheat something and make it, use it for the calculator, even if it has its own recipe or even if it's not the right recipe. But I'll know that the core is what I use to build my reactor. So we want a fission controller. We want fission reactor casing. We want transparent fission reactor casing. We want empty cooler, and we want reactor cell. So that's the 4 things that we're going to need, but those are not the right quantity. We need 8 reactor casing, like so. I love this tool. I'm wondering if it's not something I should install on every pack that I'm playing, even though it's not part of the pack, just to help make a video nice. Okay, so this is set. Save the recipe, and now let's search for core again, and let's put the radiation core here, and this is what we need to craft, which of course is not useful until we break it down. Oh, so let's break down the recipe. So reactor cell, like so. Empty cooler, like so. Fission reactor casing. Okay, so this one is crafted like this, and the transparent has 2 recipe. I don't want to craft different recipe. I prefer crafting the reactor casing, and I'll make them transparent if I want, so I'll use this recipe right here. Then we have the fission reaction controller, but that in itself, I'm going to have to teach it a couple of things. So I'm going to have to teach it the magnesium diboride solenoid. Perfect, like so. I'm going to have to teach it the advanced plating, like so. I'm going to have to teach it the plating now. Oops, the plating, like so. Oh, it already knows that because we've used it in another recipe. Oops, okay, well, not a problem. We're going to need to teach it the machine casing. We're going to need to teach it the nuclear furnace. Perfect, like so. And of course, I'm not going to teach it the furnace because I prefer seeing the furnace than the cobblestone. It's just more useful for things that we have a lot. We know how to make a lot. So 38 tough alloy, 6 block of glass, 8 steel, 16 redstone, 4 magnesium diboride alloy, 2 furnace, 28 lead, and 24 graphite dust. Great. And if you look at the steps, it shows you, like, we're going to need to make 24 basic plating. From that, we're going to need to make 4 advanced plating. Like, I love this. I never knew about this before 4 or 5 episodes ago. And since I've discovered this, I love this toy. So we have enough lead. Perfect. We have enough graphite dust. We have enough tough alloy, ferroboron alloy. Do we have magnesium diboride something? So I think that's one of the element in right here. No and no, and no and no. Okay, so I'm gonna have to learn how to make magnesium diboride. It's made from boron ingot and dust, 3 at a time. So you know what, because it's a bit well, it's not that complicated, but just for clarity's sake, I'm gonna go right here and teach my recipe. So now I know that I need 2 magnesium and 4 boron. Let's get out of here. 2 magnesium, 1, 2, and 4 boron. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it did show the ingot, but you can also in these machines use the grit type. So let's put this and this. And we're going to look here. Wow, this is looking good. Perfect. We're going to just stay here 1 second and wait for it because I'm going to need it as part of the craft. Don't want to have to come back and forth. When I go back, I'm going to make the whole craft in one go. Ferroboron alloy and lithium and ferroboron alloy like so. Grab the tough alloy. Why do we have steel? I don't, oh, we had the steel here to go with the boron. Yes, of course. That's going to finish that craft, like so, and put the steel ingot, and that's going to finish. Great, let's go back and let's go get some crafting done. So first of all, we need 24 of these plates. So 24, perfect. Then we need 4 of these advanced plate, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we need the magnesium diboride alloy, 2. We need the machine casing, like so. We need the nuclear furnace, which means we need 2 furnaces, 1, 2, 1, 2, perfect. And then we need the 2 nuclear furnace, like so. And that's going to be our fission controller. Boom, voila, one thing done. Then we need the reactor casing, 4, 8, 12. I only need 8 and 2 for the transparent one, but since they're crafted in a bunch of 4, it's not like I have a choice. So let's put another one here and another one here. These things are not wasted. We're going to need so much more later on. Perfect, so that's done. Now we need the empty cooler. It's going to give us 2. We only need 1. And the reactor cell, that we only need 1. And it's only going to give us 1. And that's a quest. Let's grab the fission reactor port and let's go. Claim, back. Next quest. Now it opens up the fuel. Refined nuclear fuel. There's a lot of fuels, but this one is easy to make and control. Place some uranium grit in an isotope separator. That's why I did that first. So LEU-235 fuel is crafted with 8 uranium-238 and 1 uranium-235. And the uranium-238 we're getting from the isotope separator. How do we get the uranium-235? By putting tiny clumps together. And by the way, if you guys have these, I'm just searching for it and I'm failing at finding it. We have to go grab stuff, so let's look in here. These uranium-238 blocks, if you remember, they were uranium-235 and they decayed. Well, if you grab this block, you can uncraft it into uranium-238, but that's not going to be your limiter, so it's not really that useful. Your limiter are those tiny clumps of uranium-235, and these uranium-238, you're going to be swamped in them. It's never going to be a problem. Perfect. So let's come back out here and we're going to right click this and we're going to make them into real uranium-235. We're going to use the uranium-235 and the uranium-238 and well, we got 6 of these. And by the way, now we have too much uranium-238. And 3 LEU fuel, base process time 60 minutes. So each one is going to take an hour to burn, and it has a base power of 120 RF per tick with a base heat generation of 50 H per tick. So, what's the next quest though? I just want to check what was the next quest here. Simulating science. This is a link to a tool that can help you build reactors, pretty useful. So yeah, okay. So I checked that. I don't like it. That's not what I'm going to use because that's to test. I don't want to test. I just want to know. These reactors are super realistic and they're a bit complicated. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to want to place my reactor in a 7 by 7 by 7. Okay, so I'm going to put down a 7 by 7 by 7 here. We're going to go in and we're going to make our first reactor, but the baby version. So 2 casing like this. Oops. Okay, so empty cooler. There we have to do something with the empty cooler. So the empty cooler cannot be empty. And the reason they're empty is that from the empty cooler, you can craft a lot. Let me just search for cooler. You can make different sort of cooler. You can make an emerald cooler, a gold cooler, a glowstone cooler, and all of these have different cooling rate. So I'm going to make a redstone cooler because they said we should start with a redstone cooler. So let's do exactly what they're telling us to do. So redstone cooler and reactor cell right here. And we don't need to see in the reactor, but since this is a test reactor, we're going to put the 2 transparent right here. We need a casing here, a casing here, 2 casing here, and casing and casing. And the beauty of these reactors is that they don't need corner, which means if I fit one in a 7 by 7 by 7, I'm still going to have that corridor up and down to be able to go to the top. All that it's missing now, it's this, and voila, casing incomplete. Okay, sorry, I can't do that. I need to replace one of these with reactor. Casing incomplete? What do you mean? Did I put the wrong thing? Fission reactor port, reactor casing. Just let's check inside. No, that's the reactor cell. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, not this one. Okay, let me try something different. So the transparent right here. This one right here. Let me put the Fission Controller right here. And now it's good. Okay, so it can't be on the side. It needs to be like in the front, I guess. Okay, so this is our reactor. And what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go and make another battery like this. And another energy cell. We're going to need more energy cells anyway, so it's not like a waste of material. And I also want to grab the energy meter. Gotta stop saying meter. I'm going to transform this one into a redstone cooler. I know we're going to need more. So, energy cell. Energy. Really? A space? Okay. Energy cell, like so. Super easy to make. And we're at least going to apply 1 upgrade on it. Redstone conductance coil, and then this, perfect. And do I have any upgrade? I have a level 2 upgrade, but not a level 1 upgrade. Okay, let's quickly make a level 1 upgrade. Like so. So that's 4, because that's obviously what I wanted to do. And I never checked if I had enough invar. Okay, so that's going to be super fast. 1, 2, and nickel. 3, perfect. So iron, nickel. That's going to be 3 beautiful stack plus of invar. Let's show that all in here. While we're here, let's empty the isotope separator. And we're waiting for... I already made stacks of invar. Okay, forget it. I'm good. I'm golden. I'm peachy. We can continue. So, like this, I'm going to make all 4 for now. And I'm going to double upgrade the battery because I want the battery to be like really good. I want to have enough power so that power is not a problem. Though, I'm not sure that I remember where I connect the reactor. I should have gone in my test world and checked that again, the same way that I had forgotten this. Is it here? Yes, it's here. Perfect. So let's put that right... nope. Let's put the energy meter right here. And we're going to be input, output. Perfect. And let's put the battery. Let's upgrade said battery. And let's make sure that the battery... Yeah, it's made to... Let's put it charged on every side. Perfect. So let's get this baby started. 100. Oh no, it's not on. I need 1 more second. I need a lever. I need to turn it on. If I remember correctly, these machines need to be turned on. I've had my reactor for a good while in my test world where I'm making sure everything works. So these are small, tiny details that I do forget. Okay, so turn it on. Perfect. And it's making 120 Fe per tick. And it's giving us radiation poisoning. You can hear the tick. So this is going to make 120 RF per tick minus 40 heat. So if you remember, the LEU-235 is generating 50 heat per tick. But if I look at the cooler right here, this is generating 90 HT of cooling. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, apparently one of my neighbors decided that this was the right time to come and talk to me. So, like I said, 120 Fe per tick. And this doesn't fit in a 3x3. So, basically what we're saying is that this is shitty because this tiny energon cube is producing 240 per tick. And it doesn't require fuel. So, you could ask yourself, why would I even want to do that? Well, there are reasons. So, before we get into reasons, I just want to come here, check a couple of things. 1, 2, 3. We're going to need more diamond in the next episode, so that's why I just want to make sure that I'm not forgetting to be making more stuff. So I'm going to throw this in the crusher. 3 stacks. And perfect. Okay, so let that continue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put myself kind of in a pause mode like this. And I'm going to overlay what I want to show you. So in the below description, I'm going to put the link to this website, the LEU-235.com Nuclear Craft Fission Reactor Design Generator by Cybe0124. So basically, it wants to have the size of the interior of the reactor. I want to use the max size of a 7x7x7, okay? So the 7x7 is losing 1 on each side and 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, 1 in the back, 1 in the front. So it's really the interior is a 5x5x5. We have to choose the LEU-235 normal, and I'm not going to look at any other fuel because all of the other fuels are kind of more complicated, and this is a reactor until we get to the fusion reactor, so this is not super important. Well, it is going to probably provide us the power we need till the end of the game, though. So there are choices, the default. Your hamster is using the default. There's one for E2E and one for PO3, which I don't know these two mod packs. So once you've selected that, you go here, and here you have to tell it how many to use. If you look at the active cooling, the max allowed are all set to 0 to not use active cooling. What active cooling means is that, let's say you put active cooling redstone, you're going to have to pump redstone into the reactor, liquid redstone, continuously to refill. Don't want to have to deal with that. Of course, it would make a better reactor, but if we ever run out of power and we really have a problem, maybe I'll look into it, but I don't see any need. So first off, we need to tell it what we don't want to use. I don't have a problem using water, redstone, quartz, easy to get enough by clicking with steel thing. I'm okay with gold. I'm not okay with glowstone. So glowstone, I don't want you to use. And I know this is a very good coolant, but we don't have. We have lapis. We don't have diamond. We don't have helium. We don't have, what's ed? Ed is enderium. We don't have cryotheum. We have iron. We don't have emerald. We have copper. We have tin, and we have manganese, which is magnesium. We have magnesium, sorry. So I put everything else to 0. Then I also need to tell it what cooling rate applies. Same thing as above, default. So now it look at the cooling rate. Redstone is 90, but look at the active redstone, 3200. So yeah, you can make a much more powerful reactor with that. I just don't see the need right now. And if you look at this, you'll see that in the one that we permit, 110, 120, 80, 120, 120. So 120, 120, and 120. There's a good chance that it's going to use some of those. But there's some kind of weird trick that to make sure that the reactor, you can't use a redstone next to a redstone. So it's there. Well, that's not true. It's too complicated. I don't know how to explain it. Now that we've put all this, we're going to run the simulator. So this is now running simulation after simulation, an iteration of different configuration. Look at these layers. It's saying layer 1 is going to be reactor cell, lapis, 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 cooler, reactor cell, lapis, 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 reactor cell, lapis. Oh, then it changed again. So it's going through all the permutation, but this is the important number. 12,640 RF per tick. So that is the equivalent of how many energon cubes? At 240 per energon cube, that's like 860? Something like that. Like, it's a crazy amount. And that being said, we're not even done going higher. Like, I think that we can get this to 18. Like the last time I let it run. Oh, it changed again. 12,720. And you see now, it's still using 1 water here and 1 water here. It's using 1 gold here. And basically, I am going to let this run till the end of the, well, do I want to leave it running that long? So the reason I'm saying that is that I really want to get the best configuration, and I want to make sure that it's going to go as deep as it needs to get me the best configuration. And look at this. Heat 8500, cooling 8520. Those are the important number. With a net heat of minus 20%, it's going to make sure that the reactor is stable. Okay? So this is super important, and the efficiency is going to be at 212%. Okay, so I'm going to let that run a little bit, and I'm going to switch back to my Minecraft window, and we're going to look a little bit into the construction of that. So if you remember, the casing was 150, the lapis was like 56, and the cooler was like 50. Like, let's just put a change to 50 and 50 just for fun for now, okay? So if I go back to my calculator, and we're going to have to adjust this as we go, okay? So no, not new recipe, so adjust this one, edit. So now I'm going to change this to say I don't want 8 reactor casing, I want 150. And I don't want 1 reactor cell, I want 50 reactor cell. And I don't want the empty cooler. What I want are, let's just say lapis cooler. And let's just say lapis cooler for now. I don't know what the other ones are going to be, but let's say 50 lapis cooler, just to give us an idea, okay? So with this new recipe, if I come out of here and I look at this, we now need, oh, well, I need to teach it how to make lapis cooler though. Give me 1 second, like so. And I'm going to teach it how to make lapis block like so, because I want to know how much lapis. Okay, so we're looking at 365 tough alloy, 168 lead, not a problem, 104 steel, we have that, 164 graphite dust, 900 lapis. So lapis wise, we got 4,000, ain't gonna be a problem. And for the tough alloy and the, well, the lead is basically me just taking, ooh, I'm going to have to make some lead pickaxe, but I think that, oh, I think that I'm going to be okay. So let me just start cooking this lead and that lead. And if I look here, 33 plus 64 plus 64, 128, 158, 161. 161, barely. So we're going to need to get a little bit more lapis, not lapis, lead. We're going to need a bit more lead. For the steel, 104. Steel, we got 62 right here. Let me check the tough alloy also. So if I change that, the tough alloy, I have 128, 148. 148, let's just remember that. Let's come in here. And steel, yeah, we're more than okay with steel. And tough alloy, there's another 64 here. And if I take this, and ferroboron alloy is with lithium. Yeah, 1900 lithium. So that's going to be another, that's 2 each, so that's 2 stack. Perfect. 2 stacks. Let me go back here. 2 stack, 2 stack, 2 stack. I now have 6, 12, 240, no, 6, 12, 18. So 180, 92, 212. How much do we need? 365. So it's still not going to be enough, but you do see how easily doable this is. Oh, we're going to need a lot more glass. So it's not something, unfortunately, it's something we cannot do in this episode, but it's something that we're very close to being able to do. And it's something that we're basically, I'm going to prepare material in my time lapse. And in the next episode, we're going to be able to set it up. I'm debating setting it up during a time lapse because it's kind of a long operation to set up, because I really need to look at the image and use the image, and I need to step by step need to make sure that I'm respecting the map that it's giving me for layer 1, 2, and as you might think, the last layer is going to be hard to make because the last layer I'm going to be touching the ceiling. So it's going to be do the last line, put the top, do the next line, do the top. Oh, what is the problem with my dog today? I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know how much that's picked up in the video, but usually I put the dog in the living room and I close the windows, but I don't know how he's seeing something or viewing something, but I'm really sorry about the disturbance. Okay, so like I was saying, we don't have enough material, but material is not going to be a problem. So if I come back here, all of this is done. What I'd like to do now is try to go toward the infinite storage so that you can see, like, so that's the next episode. I would like to set up infinite storage and the big reactor both at the same time, which I'm saying I'm going to need that isotope separator, maybe 2. I'm going to need to make maybe 2 of these isotope separators, and I'm going to need to make sure that I'm automating the crafting. So this is the tiny clump is going to have to go into one assembler, sequential fabricator, sorry. The uranium doesn't need to go anywhere, but these 2 together are going to need to go into a second sequential because I don't want to run out of fuel. I need to make sure that I'm always crafting fuel. And also, I'm just going to do a quick estimation in my time lapse. I'm going to check, like, this is going to take twice the time. It's 2 times faster, but 4 times the power. So it might actually be better to have 2 isotope separator at 1 upgrade each, because the next one is times 8, but it's now 90 RF. So it might be using too much power. Anyway, that's kind of what I want to do. So if we go back, I'm going to check how much. Oh, I have so much nether quartz. This is not a problem. I'm going to grab 2 stacks of nether quartz. Do I still have fuel somewhere? Poopy fuely. Poop, poop, poop. Oh, I have a lot. You know what? I don't like using these furnace, but at this point, we have the poop. We have the wheat, and I'm just in a, like, I need to be able to cook stuff faster right now, and I still don't have a ton of power. So just for a little while still, I'm going to be using that. So I'm going to put that in here and that in here. This is going to give me a ton of silicone. Yes, perfect. So we already unlocked silicone last time. Silicone bits, or is it silicone? So funny. That Modpack author is even funnier than I am. Rich iron, very useful. Quartz enriched iron. So the quartz enriched iron is made like so. I'm gonna grab some iron grit right here. Not iron grit. What am I doing? Well, I do want to cook iron grit, but that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to grab 1 stack, 2 stack. Do I have more iron right here? I'm gonna show this in here. Still has sand. Oh, Need to cook some sand into some glass. I'm really like running out of places and or machines to do stuff. Anyway, gotta grab another stack of iron. And I'm going to come in here and, oh, that's too much. I'm going to, I think that this is going to be enough quartz enriched iron for my whole playthrough, I think. So let me come back here and let's do this. So quartz enriched iron is made with 3 iron and a quartz, and it's 4, so that's 2 stacks. So yeah, we're going to be golden on that. I don't think we're going to need to make more. So that's another quest completed. Let's go to the next quest. The block of the machine of goodness. We need to make machine casing, and machine casing are made with quartz enriched iron around the stone, and the quartz in the machine casing is used for the wireless transmitter, which I want, the storage monitor, which we're going to have to make, security manager, nope, this is not a share world. For relays, oh, I'm not sure that I remember. Network transmitter, network receiver, interface, grid, disk manipulator, disk drive, you know what, crafting monitor. So I'm going to want 3, oh, crafter, okay, so I'm going to need a ton of those. So let's stop worrying about this and let's look at the machine casing, and we're just going to make 8. 8 seems like a good start. So I'm probably going to need more quartz enriched iron in the end. Well, that's another quest done. Now this is still unlocked by the other side. So now we're going to go to the painful, expensive part of the process. Hope it's worth it. One advanced processor. An advanced processor is cooking of a raw advanced processor. A raw advanced processor is a cooking of a diamond nuggets, redstone, silicone, and a processor binding. And processor binding is porcelain clay with string. Okay, thunder, I guess. Let me look here. Nope, nope. Yeah, I didn't plan on, obviously you didn't plan anything properly because I used all of my dust. I didn't make more dust, but my time lapse was long enough. I tried to keep my time lapse to an hour maximum. So basically, for people that are curious and would like to know, is that every one of my episodes take me about 3 hours to make, okay? It takes me, I record about 45 minutes of active talking and the actual episode, sometimes 50. So I'm going to say between 40 and 50 minutes. Then the time lapse is always limited to about an hour because I compress it by 5x. So I compress it down to between 10 and 15 minutes. Then I always do a little bit of research in my test world for the episode to know where I'm going and to not waste any time, or to figure the fastest, best, easiest way of doing something. So that's another half an hour, and editing the video, putting it all together, that takes me about half an hour with the description and everything. So that's about 3 hours per episode. And I'm explaining that process just so that, one, you know how much time this is taking, and two, because I was needing the bone meal. So now that I have 6 bone meal, this is plenty enough, I think. I would have wanted a bit more, but... Oh, and by the way, if you guys didn't watch the time lapse, go back to it. Look at how much resource I was getting. When you consider that this is 20% and sulfur is 7%, at some point in the other time lapse, in the time lapse of the last episode, as I was sieving stuff, I ended up, I think, with 8 bone meal and 8 sulfur. I was like, what the heck? This is like random good chance, but bad. What I mean by that is that it's good chance because I'm getting more of the rarer resource, but I didn't care about the rarer resource. All I wanted was the bone meal, and I wasn't getting any bone meal. Technically, doing a stack of 64 at 20%, I should for sure get 12 bone meal. This is what I'm going to average with this stack, and I'm going to finish it because at this point, why not? But I didn't get that in the other stack, and it was super annoying. So let's go. And the reason I did all the other 3 stacks of graphite is I'm going to need for the refined storage more diamonds. So let me come back here. These 3 stacks are done. Let's go back out. Let's come back out, not in here, this one above. And let's show that in the squeezer, like so. And then we can leave. We'll come back to this later. It uses a lot of power. I should totally put a battery here. This is something to maybe do on my time lapse. Okay, so clay, my diamond nuggets. Okay, I'm going to transform 3 diamond nugget, and I'm going to keep 4. The 4 that I'm keeping are 2 for another set of. Okay, let me just click this. So I'm going to need some for the construction core, so I have to be careful not to make them all into raw advanced processor. But I'm keeping 2 for the miniaturization processor field, and I'm keeping 2 for the enchantment table. Yeah, okay. So let's go in here. Let's go in here. Where's the clay? Only 4 left. Like, I just want to make sure. Okay, that's all the clay I had here. So let's grab. Oh, 61 I had already grabbed. Sorry. Let's go back. Okay. This right here, porcelain and clay. That's 2 crucibles. Although I feel like I'm good on Crucible for now, but it's really 14 processor bindings, and I'm going to make, I'm just going to make 1 for now. Like, this is so expensive. I'm going to go at it 1 at a time. Right now, I need 1 for the quest. So let's make 1 for the quest, like so. And I need to cook it, so let's grab this lead and this lead. I'm also going, like, I'm going to be hunting for resource during my time lapse. I'm going to be grabbing planks because these I want to cook 1 at a time. So let's cook this, and we're going to, well, are we not? We're not going to wait for it. So magician table. Possibly this can strengthen your pick, or so I've been told. Wants us to make an enchantment table. An enchantment table is made with 4 obsidian, a book, and 2 diamond nugget. This is going to be my probably 1 last thing, so I just wanted to check it in advance. So the quest is done. Let's go back here, and part of the process, now we've unlocked, oh, we had already unlocked art carbon, doesn't matter. Infinite storage. Having a lot of storage and ability to automate crafting in various recipes is very helpful. Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, crafting. I'm not going to need the LEU fuel. I'm going to be able to just auto craft. Yeah, perfect. That's a solution. Anyway, wants us to make a controller, a grid, and a disk drive. Can I make that? Controller. Controller. I have to find the right one right here. Controller. Yes, I have everything for it. By the way, it was 3 silicon, 4 quartz enriched, the advanced processor that we just made, and a machine casing. So that's 1. We need a grid. Grid, like a so. That's a lot of grid. The grid like this. I want a crafting grid. Oh, I can craft it from a grid. And another advanced processor. Okay, so a grid first. That's expensive. We need 2 improved processor, 1 construction core, which is with a diamond and a basic processor, and a basic processor is made like this. Ooh, I don't think I'm going to be able to. So I'm going to need 1 basic processor, and let's go back. I'm going to need a two raw improved processors. So let's make these 2. Raw improved processor right here, because I know that I need 2, so I might as well start them and cook them. 2, cook them. Perfect. Then we're going to need a construction and destruction. Oh, destruction is easy. So we're going to need 2 of those. 1, 2. Get my beans back. I always call them the beans. Like I never remember that it's processor binding, and I know that I'm always going to say, I need some beans. I need some magic beans for my processor. So let's grab those. Let's put that here. We're going to need 1 quartz and 1 of our very, 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 very expensive golden nugget. Diamond nuggets, sorry, not golden nuggets. So basic processor. So I'm going to take basic processor and a diamond to make a construction core. and a basic processor and a quartz to make a destruction core. Why is quartz destruction? No clue. Doesn't make sense to me, but it's okay. So that's one, and we have a grid. And the last one is the dick. Whoa, stop saying disk drive. Wow, that was very derpy. Please, I hope you're not going to be pissed at this. We're going to need a standard chest, another advanced processor. Oh, and that's our last diamond. Okay, so this, well, last diamond. I have emergency diamonds if I need to emergency do this. A bean and a redstone right here. Perfect. Let's exit. That's totally what I wanted to do. I mean, let's cook this. Perfect. By the way, the reactor is still working, and the best reactor is still processing. Okay, perfect. Advanced processor. Let's make the disk drive. And now we have the whole system, and we can't do anything with it because we don't have a disk drive, a disk. So in this, in applied energistic, it's called drives or memory something. These are called disk, and they're a bit simpler to make. And there's something that's really amazing. They're not limited by type. They have 1K storage, which means they can store 1,000 items. That's it, 1,000 items. So this is 128, but this is, if I take random item, this is 1 item, 2 item, 3 item, 4 item. So it's really, in my mind, much better of a system. So we need to craft this. We need redstone, quartz enrich, and 1K storage part, which is, oh, surprisingly cheap. Let me just check the 4K. The 4K is 3 of them. Oh no, look at the basic processors. These one, okay, so the 1K, I'm gonna make 2 1K right now because the 4K, until I make more beans, I can't do this. So I'm gonna have to automate dust. So let's make 2 1K, and let's come out of here. And we need to connect this to, like, this is, I'm sorry guys, this is janky and disgusting as hell, but I just want to set it up. What am I going to block my view of? What's in here? This is not using power. So you can go right there. This is using power. This is using power. Okay, so let's put the controller right here. Let's put the disk drive right here. And let's put the 2 disks in them. Disk and disk. And now, before we do anything else, I just want to see, can I easily make this into the crafting grid? No, not the pattern grid, the crafting grid. I need an advanced processor. So like, this is totally worth it. I told you I wanted to reserve the diamonds, but I'm just going to use 1 diamond to be able to make the crafting grid because it's so much better. And we're going to need a crafting table. Need some wood right here. While I'm here, isotope separator. Wow, okay, so that's good. Come back here, I have my stack. I can make a crafting table. Grab this, come back here, and let's make our crafting grid. Oh, right here. Crafting grid, perfect. And now, the pièce de résistance. We now have something with automated, well, not automated, but you understand what I mean. Now I can do this. I can say chest, and I can click chest and plus, and I can get a chest. And I can put it back in. And as you can see here, 128 plus 49 plus 49 plus 47 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. If I look at the drive, I have 2K possibilities, and I'm using 427. So like, this is really great. I'm gonna need some 4K for sure. So that's another thing for my time lapse. So now I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. For the first time, I'm going to say that the crafting grid was my one last thing, but as you can see, this is no longer habitable. We need to go in a bigger space. So I need to go to my time lapse where I'm going to bring my hub here, and I'm going to bring out my power. So I'm basically going to bring out my power into the hub. Oh, don't escape. Exit twice. I'm going to bring the power, like my power from the back there, into my hub. I'm going to bring these barrel into my hub. And I'm going to be making sure that I have the lead. So I'm going to make pickaxe for lead and pickaxe for iron grid to make sure that I'm producing these resources so that we have everything. So that next episode, we're going to start with the crafting of our big reactor in the 7x7x7 and turn it on so that we now have infinite power. Well, nothing's infinite, but more power so that we can start going to the next phase of the game. So next episode is not the poop episode. It's going to be the setting up the real power episode. And then, you know what? Maybe we're going to have time doing some poop things, but I'm not sure. So I don't want to say that it's going to be the poop episode again when it's not going to be the poop episode again. Let me switch back to the other window quickly. And we're going to take one last look. And as you guys can see, this is the best arrangement. So I thought we could go to 20, but you can't go to 20 without active cooling. So this is the configuration. We're going to stop it. Oh, I need to click on the proper thing. Stop it. We're going to stop it. And this is going to be the screenshot we're going to use. So basically, we're going to need all of this lapis, these tin ones. So we're going to need to cook a lot of tin. And this is going to be the perfect setup. And this is a no lost heat, but it's using less fuel. It's using 47 times the fuel instead of 50. So this is way more efficient. So it's going to be 150 casing, 50 lapis, 47 core, so not 50, 16 tin, and 12 redstone. So I'm going to change that in the calculator. Let's hide that and go back to my other game. By the way, I wanted to do that because I've been learning OBS and I've been learning how to do that in preparation for this episode because I wanted to be able to do that, just switch. Like I wanted to put in a transition, but I didn't figure out quite that part yet. But I was able during the recording to just switch screen to the other screen. So I'm pretty proud of myself on that one. Next, maybe we'll have transition. Maybe we'll try different things. Anyway, so now I'm going to go in my time lapse, and in my time lapse, I'm just like going to adjust this recipe so that, well, that's going to be my one last thing. So 150 of these. These we need 47. Let's change them. This we need 50, and I think that the tin was 12. Tin cooler are right, nope. Right here, tin cooler and redstone, and I'm just going back to the other screen quickly. So it's 16 tin, 12 redstone, so 16 tin, 16 tin, 12 redstone, like so, and 50 lapis, and 47 of the reactor cell, and 150 casing. Yeah, so this is the new recipe, and let's just exit quickly. So right now, one last thing. I need to teach it how to make this, and I need to teach it how to make the what's the one that I'm missing? The redstone one, like this. Perfect. Voila. Okay, so we're going to need 409 tough alloy. We're going to need 128 tin. We're going to need 256 redstone, 168 lead, 160 steel, 164 graphite dust, 190 glass, so I need to start cooking glass ASAP. I don't need the boron, the magnesium, because those are to make the controller that we already have, and the 900 lapis. So I'm almost there for material. I'm just going to need 2 more craft of tough alloy. I'm going to need to get a little bit more lead. Tin, I'm okay, I believe. Yeah, no. Where's the tin? Is the tin the one thing? Oh, no, it's no silver. Do I not have tin? Okay, this. I'm going to figure it out in my time lapse because now this is just looking weird and janky. But I'm sure I have tin somewhere. And if I don't, well, I'm going to make a pickaxe just to get tin. And I'm going to set up. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm probably going to move this setup immediately somewhere else because that's kind of in my way. Quickly. Nope. Not here. Not here. I don't even know where my stuff is anymore. That's going to be problematic. Nope. Oh yes, my reactor is here. So let's go see the reactor. You know what? I might move the disk drive and everything here because I have a battery with 5 million RF right now. This is still producing. It's still not finished. I wanted to let it finish so that once it's finished, I'm going to be able to tell you how much power this one LEU-235 fuel created for me. And by the way, I think it's 1 fuel per reactor casing, reactor cell here. So once we have 47 in it, it's going to need 47 fuel per hour. Yeah, so yeah, that's a bit like, that's why we need to automate it. And we're going to need to calculate how many reactor casing. So I'm torn between finishing here because this is not the end. I'm going to finish here so that you see my storage system. But now I'm going to go in my time lapse and I'm going to make sure I get all the resource for the next episode. Make sure that I'm already filled the isotope at maximum to have as much LEU fuel that I can and get ready for the next episode. I'm probably also going to try and make more dust because I'm going to need the more dust. And also in the time lapse, I've already shown this. I'm going to blow more hop graphite. Do I do it or do I do it in the episode viewing? This coal is so slow. Yeah, I think that I'm going to wait and do it in the next episode. Like I'm going to prepare the TNT and everything to blow it because it's kind of a thing where it's lottery and I want to show you how much I got. Like I got 9 the first time, which I still believe to this day I'll never get this lucky again, but I want to start it in the episode so you guys can see it. And that's going to be able to make my crafting system better because we're going to be able to connect all of this to this system. At refined, oh no, yes, it's refined. At refined storage. For that, we need not reader writer. We need external storage. So we're going to, oh my God, nope, forget that. Wow. That is expensive. I was going to say that all I need to do is create 1 external storage for each of these. But I didn't know the true cost. Okay, so this is a bit annoying. Like with the drawer system, you only connect to the drawer controller. But now for the external storage, we need to connect to each one separately. Chest, not a problem. Improved processor, annoying, but not a problem. Destruction core, not a problem. But the construction core, a diamond nugget for each connector. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20? No, you're crazy. So yeah, we might use drawers and connect some drawer, but no, that's not going to happen. So guys, gonna go in my time lapse because I need to get some things done, and we're going to need the diamonds at least to be able to make some more disk drive, maybe bigger disk drive, because I'd like to keep like basically everything that are in my chest. I don't want chest anymore. Everything that are in chest right now, I want in these drive, and these resources I'll just pick as I need because the external storage thing is way too expensive. But I'm gonna go in my time lapse. I'm gonna prepare a ton of things. I'm going to get out of that space and go into the bigger space. That's really the most important thing. If my time lapse not too long, I might automate dust because I really need dust. I'm just not sure what's the best way of doing it because I'm going to investigate the pulverizer. But to get dust from a pulverizer, you need a cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to dust. So it's 4 pulverizer to get 1 type of resource. It's a bit annoying, but like I'll set it up, power won't be a problem anymore, so I'll be willing to use more powers. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now!